Welcome to Boot and Cracklers, baby. Hey, I'm Coach. That's Red. Let's get it, baby. What we talking about?
The NFC South.
Oh, baby, I've been waiting on this one. Who that said they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Everybody.
Who that said they gonna beat them Saints? Not them Cottons.
Everybody.
Oh, they all say it. They ain't gonna. Look. Hey,
I actually think y'all are going to have a really good year.
Here's the thing. I'm all for the hate because we deserve it the last couple of years. But last year was the worst year in 25 years for the New Orleans Saints or more? And we still won 6 games. Listen, 6 ain't great.
What was y'all's record the year before that?
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't about 5. It's all about the same. Look, listen, we deserve the hate. As a Saints fan, we deserve the hate. Kind of like a couple of years ago when y'all won 4 games, right? Yeah, I mean, y'all deserve the hate. But I'm going to tell y'all, folks, those of you who know me know I'm a true blue, die-hard, through and through who dat from the time I was when I was swimming. I'm just why he get red again? I'm just telling y'all.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Well, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to tell y'all, I have not been this excited about Louisiana football. And I'm talking about the Saints and LSU. And we ain't talking about LSU right now. But the Saints and LSU have not been this excited in 5 or 6 years, basically since the Drew Brees retired and the Joe Burrow LSU years. All right. They basically were right there in about a year apart or whatever. So since about 2021, I have not been this excited about Louisiana football since then. Is it justified? We'll see.
I think y'all are going to have a pretty good year.
Well, let's start at the bottom. Where are you seeing the bottom feeder in the NFC South? Now, before he says this, pretty much the NFC South was all about that tight last year, weren't they? Yeah. I mean, they were all intertwined there.
Mangled up.
I mean, who won, who lost? Nobody. I honestly think going into like the last week of the season, like all 4 teams could have still been last or I don't remember what it was. It was crazy, the swing that happened. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, the Saints did not have a chance to win the division last week of the season. And I remember thinking before that week, you know, it probably would be best if we lose this game and get a last place schedule because if we won, we were going to jump up to second is what it was. And I remember thinking there's a big difference between being a second place schedule and a 4th place schedule.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So tell me what you think about my NFC South.
So
wrong.
I think your favorite.
Why is this going to be an argument?
Your favorite team to hate is going to be in last.
The Cow-Turds ain't even in the NFC South. Man, you crazy?
That's not
Is he crazy?
That's not your favorite team to hate.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, heck yeah, it is. Are you crazy?
You end every episode, or almost every episode, with what?
That's right, because never forget the Atlanta Falcons, the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. That's because it's Buddha and Cracklers, and we're down here in Louisiana. But if you want to tell me my favorite team, you want to, okay. I tell you what, you're probably right. Out of the 2 teams, I probably despise Atlanta the most. Out of the 2 fan bases, I despise the Cowboys more than any human on the planet. And I got an ex that I don't like a whole lot. Don't cut that either. Why he get red like that, huh? Here we go, man. Wait, what? Oh, he let all the air out the balloon.
Yep.
Tell me about it, man.
Atlanta,
the Falcons.
They're going to be horrible.
So they got one guy in a wheelchair and one guy in bubble wrap right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what they got, right?
Yeah, there's no way he can pronounce his last name right now, right?
I bet he can't spell it.
Yeah.
Can you pronounce it?
Tagovailoa?
Say it one more time loud.
Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua Tagovailoa. Somebody tell us who's right.
It's one of
you say tomato?
I say potatoes, whatever.
Tomato, potato. God, I thought it was tomato, tomato. Lord have mercy, we done gone to go. We went left when we supposed to go right. So they got Penix, and they got Tua. We gonna just say Tua. I can spell Tua.
Oh yeah. Tua.
You know how you spell Tua? Like that. It's Tua. They got those two quarterbacks. Listen, Tua has had good years, right? Tua's had above average years. He ain't had no MVP caliber year, but Tua has shown that when his brains aren't scrambled,
he's upright.
When he's upright, when he's not this, right? Hey, look, I'm not making fun of it. That's a serious condition, but
he's there by choice.
Listen, y'all, I don't know the man. Never met him. Dude, it's just a sport. That's your brain, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You've made enough money. Go sit on the recliner. That way, in 20 years, you can still chew gum and talk to your kids. Because one more hit like that, and it's going, dude, like, I realize being young and feeling invincible, and I'm Superman. I get that feeling. As a man, we kind of all feel that way at some point, right?
Yeah. There's one of us in this room that have an S on their chest because they had that so bad when they were younger.
Go! That must be a big old wide S. Lord have mercy. I get it. I get being young and strong and an alpha male. I get all of that. But Tua, man, for your own sake, brother, you got to let it go, man. Yeah. I mean, I know this. As a defensive player, first of all, if you're a defensive player and you're playing against Tua, you got a free shot on Tua. Do you really take it? That's what I'm talking about. So, like,
me personally, I don't want to be responsible for him having to change his lifestyle.
Hey, listen, that's exactly my point. Like, brother, if you get it, I don't want to be the person that makes you put the pins on next week for the rest of your life. He got to eat baby food the rest of his life. I don't want, first of all, Tua, to me, you're not being smart, but at the same time, it's somewhat selfish because there are other guys out there that's going to have to live with that if they put you in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's stop talking about his injury and Penix's injury. What are they as quarterbacks?
Bottom tier.
All right, so I'm agree with you on Penix. Penix has proven nothing. I'm not going to call Tua bottom tier if he's healthy. If Tua's healthy, he's a middle-of-the-road quarterback to me. He's a 15 to 23 quarterback.
Okay.
When he's healthy. The problem is, we don't know.
When is that going to be?
I mean,
or how many weeks is that going to be?
Like, watching him is, y'all, seriously, like, watching him is scary.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, as a Saints fan, I'm going to be hoping he gets put on the ground quite a bit. But I don't really want the guy hurt. But the Falcons' rest of the team, listen, man, they got some of the best weapons.
Yeah, they got John Robinson.
They got weapons. Hold on now.
Drake London's a really good receiver.
The tight end.
Has he made a good year, though? I remember everybody drafted him early in fantasy football, like 2 years in a row, and not getting much out of it.
You might be right. I might give you that. He's kind of one of those guys that, he got all this potential.
Yeah.
Right? He's potential. I'll give. Now, hold on. Is it him or has it been the merry-go-round at quarterback?
Could be both.
I mean, realistically, it ain't like he's had Peyton Manning back there throwing to him, right?
One or the other or both.
Yeah, but Atlanta has some weapons.
So far, he's a bust to me.
So far, he's a bust. So far, Penix is a bust.
Bijan.
That's a bad boy.
That guy's really good.
He's the real deal.
And I really do like their receiver, Drake London.
Drake's good. Atlanta, I got a feeling y'all probably should get all you can out of Bijan. Look, don't put him on a carries restriction because when his next contract comes out, he ain't signing with y'all again. So y'all better use all that rubber on them tires when it comes to him.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say. And I'm going to be honest with you. Now, when you call him a bottom feeder, are they a bottom feeder like the Jets and Miami? Or are they going to be like a a 5, 6, 7 win team?
5.
I'm thinking in that 6, 7 range. 6, 7. Ugh. Yeah. Red loves that. What you got next, Red?
The
drum roll, please.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, the Baker Mayfield, Baker and the boys. Yeah. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. Not because of Baker per se, but somewhat also because of Baker.
I like Baker just because I like Brett Favre in the day. He reminds me of Brett
That boy's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
And he Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
Billy the Kid. I make you famous. Yeah. He's one of them. Look, I agree with you there. Did you see how their season ended?
I'm guessing it was with the interception. I'm
talking about like the last 7 weeks. Tampa Bay started like 9-1 or 9-2 last year, and then went like 1-6 the rest of the season. Yeah. It was terrible, and they weren't injured. That's the thing. They weren't really beat up. They just went to doo-doo. I have the bottom 2 in the NFC flopped. I have Tampa dead because of the way they ended. They ended like they had absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing in the tank. They lost that one of their legendary receivers.
Yes, he's no longer on the team.
He's gone. So I just don't see anything. Now, again, I'm not sitting here saying they're going to win two games. They're going to be in that 6, 7.
I think they'll be in the 6 or 7 range.
Here's the thing. Baker Mayfield is good enough to get you 5 or 6 wins on his own. He's also bad enough to cost you 5 or 6 wins on his own.
Okay.
How you like that analogy?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's the way I feel. Like, you never gonna go 15-2 with Baker. I don't see it. You never gonna go 15-2 because he's gonna lose 3 or 4 games on his own because of his gunslinger mentality. You also never gonna go 2-15 with Baker because of his gunslinger mentality. He's gonna make plays sometimes, and sometimes them plays are gonna backfire.
Does Tampa still have that same coach?
That dude? Yeah, they still got him. You're right. That dude, yeah, they still got him. He's probably on his last one. The one that like to chew on his little, used to be at the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, they still got him.
Yeah, that guy's
I think they're going to have him till about game 6.
Horrible. Yeah.
They're going to have him till about game 6.
He's going to be one of the first ones.
I agree with you there. He's probably one of the first ones that's going to get
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. He going to be one of the first ones that gets the axe this year, I believe. What's their first couple of games look like? Because I'm going to tell you what, if their first couple of games don't start very well, they're going to be in bad trouble. I'm just telling you, if they start the season like they got Bengals, Browns, Vikings. Look, they got Bengals, Browns, Vikings to start the season. And then the Packers and the Cowturds. So, they might not just start off 5. They might start off 2-3 or something like that. I mean, let's be realistic. Is Tampa Bay better than the Browns?
Yes.
Can they play with Minnesota?
Yes.
There you go. So they got a chance at winning 2 games right off the bat. So, it is what it is. So
Pittsburgh's going to be probably a win too.
Listen.
I think Old Man Winter's going to be out of it by then.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask. Because Aaron Rodgers still going to be playing by then. You looking at game like week 6 or week 7 by that point. Is Aaron Rodgers still upright, or is he Tua? I'm just saying he ain't been that way, but
No, but I think he's going to have ACL or.
I think Pittsburgh's on the way down, but that's a whole different segment. So we have our bottom 2 the same: the Atlanta Falcons, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have them reversed. Red thinks the Falcons are last. I think the Buccaneers are last. Red. So that leaves the mighty Super Bowl winning New Orleans Saints against them Panthers. Which one do you think is going to come out number 2 in the NFC South? You better put them up, Red. I'm ready. You better say the right thing. You're going to get a 5-knuckle shuffle.
Carolina.
I knew he was scared. Oh, boy. Hey, look, that man got that star on his chest, but he know he can't handle that Florida Lee. Lord have mercy. So tell me about them Panthers.
They got a short guy at quarterback.
They got another little wee man.
Yeah,
There's a couple of little wee man. So hold on. Oh, wait. If we gonna call Kyler Murray wee man, what are we calling Bryce? Wee! He ain't no hands. How about we call him wee man?
That'd be Deshaun Watson, wouldn't it?
Pa-da-pow. Hey, call Red for any of your entertainment. I tell you what, he is on the mic. He does comedian. He's a comedian on Friday nights. He does that stand-up improv. That's him right there.
Then they got, Tiny Hands as backup quarterback.
Tiny hands.
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, yeah, I got these little hands. He's like a T-Rex. Oh, that's them little arms. I got them little hands. I didn't realize they had Kenny Pickett there.
I didn't either.
You know why?
Nobody knows.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares where Kenny Pickett is at. Oh. Is he related to Wilson Pickett?
Wilson Pickett.
Wilson Pickett. Lord, I'm old. That was a singer back in the day. Lord have mercy. What else Carolina got?
I like McMillan, the receiver.
He's not bad. Listen, it's easy to sit here and pick apart Wee Wee Man.
I like Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba's a solid running back. I don't think he's upper elite level.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid middle, maybe upper middle running back. He's in that 10 to 12 range running back in the NFL. He's a good running back. Here's the honest truth, y'all. I think Bryce was one game from being traded.
Mm-hmm.
He started the first couple of games last year and stunk it up.
And benched him.
And benched him for several games.
Yep.
And after a couple of games, they gave him another chance. Actually, you know what? If I remember right, didn't they have the Red Rocket?
I believe so.
And then he get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's why Bryce got another chance. And when he came back, it was a whole different Bryce Young.
What did the guy in Indiana basketball coach?
Bobby Knight?
Yeah, Bobby Knight. What did he say about the bench?
Hey, the greatest motivator is the bench.
Yeah.
All right? Hey, bench meets rear end, and rear end sends a message to brain to play better, and all of a sudden, you get better. Look, hey, so here's the thing about Bryce Young. It was his playing better. Because let's be real, he didn't come back and play like freaking Peyton Manning.
No.
He came back and played decent, and they didn't have the world's toughest schedule. He came back and beat some beatable teams. Is that something that's going to carry over? Was it a true improvement? Was it because they were playing bad teams? Where are we at on Bryce Young? Some other quarterbacks, we've given him a ranking. What's his ranking? So here's the thing. You think he's better than Baker Mayfield?
No.
No, me neither. I don't think he's better than Baker Mayfield either.
No, I put him in the category of jury's still out on him.
That's a lot of them, right? Honest truth.
I wouldn't label him a bust yet, but I don't think he's been defined yet.
I think those last 4 or 5 games last year gave him a reprieve.
Yes.
Gave him a do-over in Carolina. And these first 4 or 5 games this year are going to tell the stat because
versus Chicago, at Atlanta, at Cleveland, and home versus Detroit.
So they start 2-2.
And then they get a bye week.
You want the truth? I think they can play. Where they play Chicago?
At home.
They might can start 3-1 out of that. They can play with Chicago. They're good enough to play with Chicago, I believe.
So they get Chicago and Detroit at home.
They're not beating Detroit.
I think they can beat one of those two.
They're not beating Detroit. They're not beating Detroit.
At Philly versus Tampa, at Green Bay versus Denver, at New Orleans.
So I'm going to tell you, when I look at the middle of their schedule, if they didn't start the first 4 games, if they didn't start the first 4 games 3-1, they in trouble.
Yes.
Because I see Eagles, Packers, Broncos, Ravens, Saints. I see all of those guys in the middle of that schedule.
Seattle at the end of it.
Seattle at the end. We can like or not like the Steelers. The Steelers won their division last year when it's all said and done. They got the Steelers on their division. They got the Bengals again. So, where do you see them? I know you say in second, but what kind of record you thinking?
8, 9.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like they were last year.
I'm thinking about 9 and 8. Listen, honestly, I think this whole division is going to be about the same. You're going to have the bottom place team with about 6 wins and the top place team with about 9 or 10 wins. And everybody else jumbling there. You put them in a hat, pull one out, and it'll be who it is going to be. I agree with you on Carolina. And I'm going to be honest with you, Red. Now that I think about it, let's take the quarterbacks out.
Mm-hmm.
Take the quarterback out of Carolina. Take the quarterback out of Atlanta. Take the quarterback out of Tampa. Who has the best team around them?
Oh, Atlanta.
So you're telling me you think Tua's that bad?
Yeah.
That they have the best team, but you predicted them last.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot, because that's where I was going with this. I'm sitting here thinking like, so you think Carolina's team would be better than the Buccaneers without their quarterback?
Yeah. I think losing Mike Evans is going to hurt them a lot.
I think it's going to hurt them a lot. I don't like the way mentality Tampa ended the season last year. That's the main reason. It's not because I think Baker's bad.
And I don't like their coach. Like, I think he's one of the worst coaches in the league.
I would definitely put him probably bottom 5. But we already talked about him catching the can here in a little bit. But so that leaves ain't but one team left. I don't know exactly who Red's going to say, y'all. But hey, Red, who you think is going to win the NFC South?
I really feel the Saints are going to win.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming, man. Lord have mercy. You gave me the first 3, and I still didn't know you was going to say the Saints. I don't know how that happened. Tell me why, Red.
I like y'all's coach, quarterback.
Let me stop you right now. Mm-hmm. So a year and a half ago, the Saints were looking for a coach.
The Cowboys were looking for a coach.
And the Cowboys were looking for a coach.
What did I say?
Somebody on here, I'll let y'all guess who, is a Cowboy fan. All right? And before he became even in the running, before he was ever mentioned as the Saints coach, Kellen Moore was mentioned as the Cowboys coach.
Yeah.
And Red, my friend here, said, please, God, do not let anybody, though your exact words were anybody other than Kellen Moore. Then he becomes the Saints coach, and you know what Mr. Red said? Oh, I think it'd be good for y'all. How'd that work, huh? How'd that work? I want anybody but him. Baby, I'm glad y'all got him. What? And now he likes him. What in the world?
It wouldn't have worked in Dallas. I'm telling you, it would not have worked out in Dallas.
Okay, so what has worked out in Dallas?
Not much since I was
Crickets.
6.
Crickets. We'll get on the NFC later. All right, NFC's next. Y'all just hold on to your hearts a little bit.
The East.
What'd I say?
NFC.
Oh, the NFC East. My bad. The NFC Beast or Least, depending on what you're thinking about. But so you like our coach?
Yeah.
And
y'all have
gotta be something else if you
have a favorable schedule.
We definitely have a favorable schedule. I'm liking our schedule.
I really like Shuck.
We're getting shook tonight. They made that. Hey, have you heard that song?
I like Etienne. And then Chris Olave.
So listen, there comes a point, and I guess this is where I talk a lot, but I guess this is kind of my area of expertise, right?
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints. I don't know if I've mentioned more than 15 times on here that I'm a season ticket holder. Hey, by the way, y'all ever want to come hang out with me? Y'all let me know. You come to the Saints game? Look, you know the tunnel they run out of before the game? I see it right there. Like right there. It's me, the aisle, and the tunnel. I see it right there. Row 6. Come find me, baby. Come on, find me. We'll put you on camera. I'll make you famous. Like Billy the Kid, baby, I'll make you famous. Hey, I ain't even famous in my own house. How is that possible? New Orleans Saints. Here's the thing. I am very high on the structure of our team right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the composition of our team. All right. Couple of things have happened in the last 2 years. All right. Number one, we have gotten rid of some huge expiring contracts in the last 2 years. Listen, folks, if you didn't realize it, we were still paying Drew Brees up until about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what Mickey Loomis had kept pushing all that stuff back. Some of them contracts was like Bobby Bonilla contracts. If you don't know what that is, go look that up. The Mets are still paying for that for like 15 more years. All right, $1 million every July 1st. Yeah, something like that. Michael Thomas got rid of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
Derek eyes in the back of his head car. We're not completely out of his contract, and I'm going to give him credit. He basically, by retiring, gave us $30 million back to spend on our roster. All right. So if I'm going to thank you for one thing, Derek Carr, I'm going to thank you for that. Being a decent. You want the truth? I think Derek Carr is a decent person.
Yeah.
Listen, he always seemed like a decent person. Sometimes you just snake bit in sports. No matter, look, I'm going to give it all I got, and then something, and Derek Carr just seemed to be that person. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. It just seemed like every time he took 2 steps, he'd stick it in a bear trap. It just is what it is. But I think getting rid of some of those contracts are going to help us. I'm going to be honest with you. As a huge Saints fan, we are tied to our legendary players. We're tied to Cam Jordan.
Yes.
We're tied to Kamara. A lot of us tied to Taysom Hill, which the verdict's still out on what he's going to do. All right. We were tied to Demario Davis. All those guys. As a Saints fan, baby, I have cheered you for years. But realistically, if I'm going to sit here and take my fan hat off, what have we done with you guys the last 4, 5, 6 years?
Not much.
Not much, right? Not much. So do I think we're going to miss DeMario? Yes. Do I think getting rid of his contract may ultimately help? Maybe not this year, but in the next 2 or 3 years coming up, I think it helps.
Yeah.
All right. I think Cam coming back on a team-friendly contract.
I thought that was huge.
Helps. All right. I think Cam's presence on our team needs to be first and foremost locker room leader.
Yes.
He is an unquestioned locker room leader by all accounts. So is DeMario. So is Taysom. I don't. From what I hear, Kamara's kind of quiet and off-putting. He kind of reminds me of like Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of different. Kamara's just kind of different. Great guy, but he's just kind of different. By the way,
what was that running back y'all had that threw you the ball during warm-ups?
Oh, look, he did it in a couple of games. Williams.
Yeah, that guy was different.
Yeah, he was a little bit different. Look, if you don't know that, he used to come out pregame when everybody else is doing our stuff. He would come over there in the end zone, and he would throw balls up in the crowd. I mean, he throw 25, 30 balls. This is an hour before the game, so if you ain't there an hour before the game, you don't get to see that stuff. But yeah, I mean, so he became one of my favorites because he was trying to interact with the fans. So I enjoyed that stuff. He's the one who they let Jameis let score a touchdown the last play of the season or whatever it was. But anyhow, good for him. But I think getting rid of some of those older guys is probably, as much as we love those guys. Listen, folks, it's kind of like being in a relationship. Sometimes you got to break up to move forward. Do I think we should take Taysom Hill back? Yes. On a much friendlier contract. And here's my reason. Do I think Taysom Hill is still the same guy he was 5 years ago? No. But Taysom Hill can fill like 5 different spots on your roster. Financially, he's worth it. Guess what? He can be a tight end. He can be your running back. He can be a wide receiver. He's on your special. He's one of the best special teams players you got. And when it's all said and done, having him on the roster means you only have to carry 2 quarterbacks because he can be your emergency quarterback if you need a third one in a game. When you put all of that together, he is an integral part to that team along with his leadership. Now, Achane. Yes, sir. I'm all about him. The new receiver we got.
Yeah.
Listen, not only did we get him, we got Barry Brown from LSU. That boy fast.
Mm-hmm.
That boy fast. All right. Now, at the same time, I have to have some apprehension I think our receiving core is as good as it's possibly ever been. Now, you might go back and say, but how about all them 5,000-yard seasons Drew Brees had? Was that on the receivers or was that on Drew Brees?
Right.
Because even as great as Marcus Colston was, never made a Pro Bowl.
Right.
Michael Thomas was the first receiver Drew Brees had that made a Pro Bowl. And what Drew made our receivers. All right. Go back and look at Tom Brady. Other than the year or two that he had with Randy Moss, how many unreal receivers did he have? He had a bunch of possession receivers. Mm-hmm. He didn't have those Megatrons out there. Right. He made them. He made Amendola. You know, he made those guys famous. Walker. Well, he made those guys famous. So I think our wide receiver room is as good as it's ever been. Olave, Jordan Tyson, Berrien Brown, Vele that we got at the end of the season and came on real good. He had a great connection with Chuck at the end of the year. Those two, Vele was a big body guy willing to run slants over the middle and take those hits, which, by the way, Kellen Moore, don't make Olave do that.
No.
Because what I said earlier about Tua is the same way I feel about Olave. I hate to say this. Olave had a relatively healthy season last year, but his next big head injury and concussion,
that's going to be about it.
He got to go for his own sake. Not that I don't think he can play. For his own sake, he got to go for his own sake. If that happens this year, that puts the Saints in a huge conundrum because he's going to be up for a huge contract. Yep. And can you pay somebody with that type of concussion problems, can you pay him that much money? Right. You know what I mean? You know, I guess it all depends on how this season goes. But his next concussion is probably, if I'm his significant other, if I'm his mom or his parent or someone that loves him, that's close to him, his next concussion has to be his last one. Yeah. Kind of like Tua. It just has to be. At some point, it's just a job. He's made enough money to live on. It's got to be just a job. Our running back room. Listen, you know, there's all kind of rumors about Alvin Kamara. All kind of rumors about Saints want to trade him. He don't want this, that, other. The truth is, right now, he's on our roster. Right now, we have him and Achane, who in the NFL has a better running back tandem than the New Orleans Saints right now.
None off the top of my head.
And that's coming from a Cowboy fan. You know, I don't want to just blow it up, but who has a better tandem of running backs than the New Orleans Saints right now? Now, will Kamara get to us to the first game of the season with us? That's still to be determined. But we got solid running back. Yeah. Here's where I have a problem with us. It's not that I think our offensive line is bad. Our offensive line has been subject to injuries. McCoy's been injured. We cannot seem to keep offensive linemen healthy.
It's been like a revolving door.
For 5 years. Yeah. And if you want to know the truth, if you go all the way back to some of Drew Brees' years, if you look at the years that we were, if you want to call it down, when Drew was with us, look at the offensive line. I said year after year when we were 8-8 or whatever it was way back when, like nobody's going to have success running for their life. Even Drew Brees don't have success running for his life. If the New Orleans Saints can keep Tyler Shuck standing upright, I think we have a 10-win potential.
That's what I was thinking.
I think we have a 10-win potential, which, listen, compared to the last 5 or 6 years, baby, we going to act like we won the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm just being for real. Like, it's been pretty bleak. It's been pretty bleak. I'll say this, and I said this last year at the beginning of the season when we were losing quite a few games. We kept fighting. We would get down 2 touchdowns or so in the first half, and we would come all the way back and somehow at the very end lose it. But we had fought back. Where you have a lot of teams when they're sitting there at 2-6 or whatever it is, and they get down 14 points at half, they pack it up. We fought back every time. I don't know if that's a Kellen Moore thing. I don't know if that's Cam Jordan, Demario Davis. I don't know if that's team structure, but we never quit. And that's one thing that as a Saints fan, I kept hanging my hat on. We're not quitting. We're not laying down. Well, listen, that was a point of the season that we had a chance to go try to get the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to win. We chose to try to keep playing and try to keep winning. And I think that mentality, at some point, you have to build that locker room mentality. And I'm hoping that the back half of the season did that for us.
Yeah. I think y'all are going to have a great year.
So Tyler Shook, first of all, the guy's almost my age. He's about my age. I think he was 1 year below me in high school. He came in last year as a rookie. Didn't play the first half of the season pretty much. We started the rattle trap, and he didn't do very well. Again, was it him or was it the team around him? It was kind of both. But we bring in Shook, and all of a sudden we start winning a couple of games. We start pulling some of those games out at the end that we were losing. That builds confidence. You start winning some games at the end of the game that you've been losing all season, realistically, for 5 years. All of a sudden, and you're doing that with a new quarterback, all of a sudden some of these veteran guys like Cam Jordan, hey, maybe we got something. And it starts building belief.
Mm-hmm.
Is it real or is it fool's gold what we got? Because that's what I'm worried about. That's as a Saints fan, listen, I want to sit here and tell you we're going to go 19-0 this year. But I have to be realistic. Is what Shook did real, or was it fool's gold and the fact that we were playing some kind of crappy competition?
I think it's real. I literally think y'all are going to have a great year.
Oh, boy! Hey, bartender, give me another round. Go! Red, I like hearing you say that.
It's not the Saints team I don't like.
But we hadn't said you didn't like the Saints. We never said that, Red.
Saints.
Red, we never said you didn't like the Saints. Where this coming from?
The Saints.
Where this coming
base.
from? You mean who that? Y'all hear that? Who that nation?
Yes.
Y'all hear that?
You.
I tell you what.
You.
All right.
It's you that I don't like.
He's talking to y'all. I tell you what. I'm going to let y'all know when he comes to the game with me. I'm going to let y'all know when he comes to the game with me. And y'all can get on that big red tail right there. I'm just telling you. But it's going to take a couple of y'all. It's going to take a couple. Don't come one-on-one. I'm just telling y'all.
It ain't.
That's 6'6", nearly 4. Hey, you know what?
Wow.
If our offense...
Wow.
What?
What you said?
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm just guessing, but it can't be too far off. Lord have mercy. Look, I'm 260, and I look like our field goal kicker compared to you. I'm just telling you, I'm 260, y'all. 6'2", almost 6'3", 260. Y'all think my stats is off? I tell you what, they in the ballpark. I'll tell you what, if we get injuries on the offensive line this year, I'm calling Mickey Loomis and giving him Red name and number. I can tell you that. He's big enough.
The footwork ain't there, though.
Hey, you're big enough. Just hold your hands out like that and make them go around you. How about that? That good enough?
You give me a tryout with Saints, I'll go to it. I'll at least go to it.
Hey, y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear that? Mickey Loomis. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, Mickey. Gail Benson. Look, from your most loyal Saints fan since he was an embryo, please give Mr. Red just a 1-day workout. Try it. We'll call it a tryout, workout, whatever. Hey, it don't have to be nobody. I tell you what, Red, who we want? You want Cam Jordan?
No.
You got to rush. Somebody got to rush on you. Cam Jordan. Hey, Cam's older than you. Cam's about your age. What? You can all you want. Y'all about the same age. Y'all pretty close. I'm just telling y'all. I think Cam Jordan and Red 1-on-1 for bragging rights. He said y'all heard him say it. And Red, if you cut this out, he's our editor. Or he's one of our editors. I'm just telling you. Y'all heard Red say, if he gets a tryout with the Saints, he's coming.
He's 2 months younger than me.
That's exactly what. 2 months younger. Is that not the same age? Fair fight, right?
No.
Hey, I'm going to tell you. Hold on. How tall is Cam Jordan? How tall is Cam Jordan? I bet you're taller.
He's 6'4".
He's 6'4". You taller. Does he weigh as much as you? So you're bigger? Hey, what are you talking about? This is a fair fight. This is a fair fight. I'm talking about 1-on-1. Who that nation? Cow Turd Nation. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
World-class athlete.
Well, you too. Remember you were third-team All-American in soccer.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, he was. Go back and look at the last video. I tell you, third-team All-American in soccer.
The guy barely made the high school football team.
Hey, don't come over here crawfishing now, Red. Don't be backing up. You said on camera, if you get a tryout with the Saints, you will be there.
I'll go.
Absolutely. Hey, Mickey Loomis.
Who
Hey,
go there?
Mickey Loomis. Hey, there ain't nothing you can say right now, Red. Mickey Loomis, it's me and you. Right here, baby. If you look right here. I gotta have it. I gotta have it, Mickey. I'm telling you. Absolutely. Hey. And Mickey Loomis. It's just me and you here. Nobody else is listening. When Red shows up for his tryout, I'm going to make sure he wears that shirt. He wears that shirt for his New Orleans Saints tryout. Book it. It's on. So, final NFC predictions are.
NFC South prediction.
NFC South prediction. You got me off. I see it. Hey, baby, I can't wait to see this tryout. Lord have mercy, baby. Oh, Lord, my blood pressure and Lord have mercy now. That's my pulse. It's rolling, baby. I can't wait to see this.
You just won't see me get ran.
I'm going to make it happen. I got connections. Hey, if you go back and look at our soccer video, we got a little fashed about Trump calling FIFA about Balogun playing. Hey, baby, you about to be fashed at me because I'm calling Gail Benson straight. I'm going straight to the top, baby. It's me and Gail. Hey, Gail, what you doing for lunch, baby? Can I take you out? Huh? You looking pretty good, Gail. I'm just telling you, baby. I gotta make this happen. NFC South prediction, Red.
Saints.
Top or bottom?
Top.
That's right.
Saints, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons.
Me, I got the Saints, and who cares about the rest? I don't care about the rest of the NFC South. They're all crap.
Ball it up, do it.
Ball it up, throw away. But personally, I got the Saints, the Pampers, and then I got the Bucks. No, I got the Falcons, then the Bucks. I got the Bucks at the bottom. Even though really, truly, and I don't want to get into this deep, Baker Mayfield is probably the most proven quarterback in the division, ain't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's realistic. Anyhow, baby, hey, you heard it. Red and Coach, we both got them who that's number one in the NFC South. Woo! Mean Gene. Hey, don't forget, the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, baby. Hey, I bet they don't do it this year. Hey, join us next time for Booty Cracklin', baby.
Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok. Email the show at bootandcracklinsports@gmail.com.